Hello and welcome back. So we're now going to learn about primitive types in C. So what are primitive types? Well, primitive types are the data types built into the language itself. So integer is a primitive type that allows us to store numbers or return numbers. Char is for characters such as A or B or C, for example, a single character. So let's first discuss what void is. As you know already, based on previous lectures, void is a data type that means we will return no value. Basically, it's like it's a void. You know, if you think of a void in real life, it's nothing, right? So that's a void basically. A void basically represents that there is no number or no data of any kind. That's basically what void means. But pointers are a little different, and we'll explain that in another lecture. Okay, so next we have char. So what is a char? Chars allow you to store characters. So I could do something like this, for example. And chars are 8 bits in length, or 1 byte. So obviously in C, depending the data type you should use, should depend on how much data you need to store and what it's being used for. So typically numbers, you would use an integer in most cases. You would even prefer an integer over a char, even if the numbers could fit into the char data type, which is 1 byte. 8 bits. Now what can 8 bits store? 8 bits can store 255, a number up to 255 if it is unsigned, but we will explain the difference between signed and unsigned shortly. Now, so you use char when you want to store characters. Next you have, another thing, these quotes by here allow us to define a single byte as a character. So this is converted into the decimal equivalent based on the ASCII table. So let's do short next. So short is a number, just like integer, but it can store a lot less. Short is for numbers that can't store as many bytes as integer. If you need to store numbers that are much larger, like above like 30,000, 40,000, 50, 60,000 onwards, then you're best to use an integer or an unsigned short. We'll explain the signs soon enough. However, an unsigned short cannot store more than 65,535 as a number. So obviously if you want to go higher than that, you need to use an integer, guys. So then integer, as you know, is a data type that can store about 4 billion, a number up to 4 billion something, but the number can only be around 4 billion if it's unsigned. If it's signed, the number is about 2 billion. So if you need to go higher than that, you should use a long. And a long is a huge number. It is 8 bytes in length, and it can store a huge number. I can't even tell you what the number is because it's so big. So you use a long where you deal with things that are much larger, when you deal with numbers that are extremely large. So quick overview then, chars are 1 byte in length, shorts are 2 bytes in length, integers are 4 bytes in length, and longs are 8 bytes in length. But that assumes you're using a modern processor. If you compile C on embedded or on older systems, then these data type sizes will be different lengths. So make sure you read about that. That's why it's hard for me to tell you exactly how much they store, because it really depends on the architecture. If you're working on a Windows machine or something, then what I've told you is accurate. If you're working on an embedded processor or something, or a really old machine, then the sizes of these are smaller in length. Okay, so then we have float. Now a float is basically a number where you can store decimals. So for example, and you also put an F at the end of literal numbers. When you actually enter the number, you put an F at the end to represent float usually as well. So floats are great for storing things like currency, for example, like pounds and pence, dollars and cent. Now double is a larger floating point number. So again, you can store currencies, stuff like that, but double is much bigger than float. The same as long is much bigger than integer. Okay, so you would use a double for larger numbers that are decimal placed, and you use a float for smaller numbers that are decimal placed. But double is you're best to use double if you're dealing with currency. So that is the primitive types: char, short, integer, long, float, double. Okay, so now let's explain unsigned versus signed. So unsigned is represented by this unsigned keyword. So all primitive types can have an unsigned just before the data type is defined. So you can have unsigned long, you can have unsigned integer, and what this basically does is it means it can't go negative. Unsigned numbers allow a data type to hold more in the positive range, but you can't store in the negative range. So by default, any data type you define is by default signed. So for example, if I get rid of this a second, so for example, signed init equals 30 is equivalent to integer m. So signed is basically invisible. It's always there unless you define unsigned, right? So a signed can go negative and positive. So it can be minus 50 or it can be 50. It can also be 0. Now unsigned can only be 50 and 0. You can't go negative. If you try to go negative on an unsigned integer or an unsigned anything, it'll loop back around. So essentially it will become the highest number possible for that data type. And that's what happens when you exceed the maximum boundaries in C. They loop back around. So that's very important to know that. So the difference here then is if you want a positive number but you don't care about negative, you can use unsigned. But if you need negative as well, then signed is best. But unless you're working with much larger numbers, you won't have to worry about signage too much. If you are defining some sort of file format, then obviously you'd need to take more care whether you sign or unsign things. But essentially, use unsigned if you need to, and if you won't have negative numbers, because that's very important to note that. And the data type you choose will depend exactly on how much data you're going to be storing and on the circumstance. If you're storing in a file, for example, and you know that, like for example, using an integer here, even though you're only working with low numbers, it's not so bad. But if you're going to be working with files where the amount you store is pretty crucial, then you should be more careful. So for example, if I know that my number won't be above 255 and will always be above -1, in other words it won't be negative, then it makes sense to use an unsigned char. Because if I use a char, what happens is it becomes signed. which means that I can have negative, I think it's negative 127, and then plus 127, right? But if I use unsigned, then I can only have up to 255 positive. But by setting it as unsigned, I extend the amount of data I can store in there, but I can't have negative numbers. So using that, I can have in the negative range and the positive range, but I basically lose half of the positive's potential length, because I need to take into account that I can have negative numbers. You unsign it, then you use the full amount of bytes, basically extending the number you can store in that amount of bytes that Char provides, which is 1 byte. You sign it, you have the negative range, but you lose some of the positive range. So they're important things to note. Very important things to note. Now, that is data types. And I hope that makes sense, because if it doesn't, send me a message and I'll make a follow-up video. But essentially, unsigned and signed are concepts you should know.